Bum. We are on. Or so it says. Streaming on Twitch. Sending data to YouTube. We are live.
Oh.
Ooh.
So get down a little bit, up my nose.
Up your nose.
Nose.
Up your nose.
Up.
And pull up.
There we go.
Twitch.
Camera good?
Mm-hmm.
Both cameras good?
I think so. I mean, someone can easily
Check.
can tell me otherwise.
Someone.
I don't know. Whoever feels like it, I guess. Nobody might feel like it. I don't know.
There it goes.
See how it goes. Pulling up. All right. Boop. We can put this over here.
Oh, that's like right down on top of my head.
You can bring it
Do I
down.
need to back up a little bit?
I mean, you can.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Better at all? Can't really move the camera any far forward.
You can't move the camera forward, is what you're saying?
You at all?
No, you can't. This is what it looks like.
It's fine. It's whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
It always
The only thing that matters is the audio. Can you hand me the headset? Make sure it doesn't flip anybody's drinks and dump them on the floor. Alright. Let's turn it backwards.
Okay.
We need to talk.
I mean, I don't know where it's going to be picking the audio up from. Probably YouTube.
Yeah, it's doubling up because I'm hearing myself talk, and then I'm hearing... That's actually a little bit too close.
Do you want me to mute YouTube and just see what it sounds like?
You need to turn your gain up.
You need to turn your gain up. How's that? No? Yes? Maybe?
I think you're good. Just don't worry about it.
Okay. I won't.
Okay.
Mess with it a little. Won't touch it again.
Won't touch it again.
I'm not touching it.
Oh no.
You can't make me touch it. It's Saturday. We are snowed in.
Yep. Snowed in Saturday.
Who knows when we'll be able to leave the house again?
Yeah.
Never?
So we're drunkening ourselves.
Drunkening ourselves.
Hopefully that doesn't taste horrible.
I have a mystery concoction. It is
in a skull.
It looks very Halloweeny, kind of like this is a brain, and then it's all red.
Yeah. I did it on purpose.
Did you?
No.
Okay. I figured you didn't, which is why I said
you want to try it?
Tastes like, what's that stuff that starts with a G?
Grenadine?
Yeah.
There's 0 grenadine in it.
That's crazy. What is in this? Actually, you know what?
All it is that raspberry lemonade vodka and cran grape juice.
Nice.
Yeah,
it doesn't taste like there's any alcohol in it. None.
Straight grenadine, huh?
You want to here? Try it.
No, I don't want to try it.
Just a smidge. Now that I know it doesn't have any food coloring in it. It's heavy.
Tastes fine. Tastes like kind of like cran grape juice.
Oh, shit.
All right. Let's get down to business.
Business.
Talk about what we're here to do.
Which is what today? The original plan was for us to start going into Quicksilver. I didn't have time to even look at it.
Read it.
I have read it.
It'll all come flooding back to you. Hopefully.
I don't think it will. It's like
Really?
I remember the basic storyline, but the stuff that makes it really good, like the nitty gritty details of it, I don't remember.
Well, that's gonna be tough to talk about.
I know, that's why I was like, I'm not really sure what to do about it.
I skimmed. Here's what I did.
Okay.
I opened up the book, looked at the right-hand page in the middle
Okay.
for 12 chapters. That's all it really took.
Was
Good idea.
12
We
chapters.
don't have time to do that right now.
I don't.
We can talk about. Well, let's give like the our disclaimer and stuff.
So this is spilling our usual tea.
Mm-hmm.
We do hearty deep dives. We try to be hearty.
Try to be hard. Sometimes we end up a little soupy.
Ew. That sounded weird. Into popular romance or smut novels,
And unpopular ones.
and unpopular ones. We have our YouTube and we have Twitch. We also have TikTok, which has nothing on it.
Yep.
And
If they
Instagram.
won't let us make content.
They won't
Well,
let
they
us
will.
stream. I haven't,
Yeah, we're not cool enough to stream yet.
but I'm not cool enough to know how to make a TikTok. I'm a loser.
We're just gonna dump all of our content on Mo and make her do highlights.
I don't think that will ever happen.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll
We
ever
need-
do it.
We need somebody who knows how to do that stuff and likes doing it, and also will do it.
Yeah. But
So if
until
anybody wants to volunteer,
yeah, until then,
we've got a
I
bunch
don't.
of irons in the fire.
Oh yeah, don't we? Don't we ever? Between all the things that we do.
I wonder if there's like a dead gnat in this tequila, that it would have the same effect as the worm at the bottom.
What is the worm at the bottom? What effect is that?
It soaks up the alcohol,
Yeah, but
supposedly.
are you supposed to eat it?
Yeah, you're supposed to eat it. No, you're not supposed to eat it, just swallow it.
You're supposed to shoot it, or whatever.
Yeah, you're supposed to drink it at the bottom.
That's really gross.
No gnats in this tequila, by the way.
That's good.
There's not much of it, so.
No.
You're not going to get drunken, Jamie. You might get tip, Jamie.
Tip, Jamie. Have we finally ran through all the tequila?
No.
Oh well.
There's some gross tequila up there that I really don't want to drink.
I thought there was
It's that
another.
stuff that
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, it's his company. So gross. So gross.
Well.
I'm sorry, but I'm kind of a bottom shelf tequila guy. I really haven't acquired a taste. I'm the same thing with bourbon too.
Food luck.
Evan Williams is the same thing to me as I don't know what's an expensive one. Pappy.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea.
It's all the same to me.
It's all the same. Oh, I officially can see Rachel's comments now.
Rachel Alexandra.
Alexandra.
Rachel Alexandra, my daughter.
Dold. One of the two. Those daughters. Definitely don't have a surplus of those.
Maybe she can
Yeah, I guess you could.
tell us how the audio is.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Sound good? Are we echoing
she did
still?
just read Quicksilver.
She did just read
She
Quicksilver.
did just read it, and she wanted to talk about it.
I wonder
Wish
if
there was some way we could dump her in here.
there definitely isn't.
Oh man, I wish it wasn't snowing. I wish they could come over.
Well, maybe we should wait until they can to deep dive into
No,
Quicksilver.
we can't. We can't. She's just gonna have to comment from afar.
Comment from the distance.
So anyway,
Anyway.
we're here to attempt a deep dive on Quicksilver. I've been talking it up, and I won't shut up about it since I read it, because I really enjoyed it. And I mean, I'll try to come up with some specific details about it, but I'm not really that kind of guy. I'm more of a vibe kind of guy.
Well, that was the
because of my ADHD. I don't think I have ADHD. I think I have ADD.
you have whatever Victor has, I'm sure.
Victor has what I have.
That's true. I'm not really sure what that is. But he definitely has it. No, they're not really sure what that is either, to be honest.
Complex beasts.
You are a complex beast. Which is fine. Definitely not gonna.
For you.
Is it?
For me, it's not a lot of fun. But anyway, we can dive into the book if you'd like.
Sure.
You can tell us the name of the author.
This is Quicksilver by Callie Hart.
Callie Hart. That one's easy to pronounce.
It is easy to pronounce.
I have like a butt ton of like Quicksilver
merch.
It's not Quicksilver merch. It's like inspired Quicksilver stuff.
Mhm.
Like that shirt you have that's got the lips on it.
Yeah, which I just cleaned. I think it's in the dryer.
Yeah.
Rachel says she has a bad memory when it comes to books.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these books, unless somebody's talking about it, the only thing you really remember is whether or not you liked it and, the general theme of it. This was a really cool enemies to lovers thing.
Yeah.
And she drew it out well. We could talk about the beginning of it, the part that really grabbed me at the beginning of the book. It was Sarah Swain, the main character. And she's like one of the only, like Sarah Swain and Kingfisher. He's got a different name now after Brimstone, but yeah. Who knew? Yeah, he's got a real name now. Kingfisher, I think, was just a nickname or
so his name changes during.
Yeah, he didn't really know what his name was, I don't think, until the next book, and then he finds out.
Well, his real name or his full Fae name.
His government name.
His government name.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep this near me. I'm probably gonna be hitting it quite a bit.
Rachel says, I got way too excited when my friend surprised me for my birthday. I kept clapping. I felt not neurotypical. And she says, Are you going to talk about Brimstone? Because I have not read it yet. We're not going to talk about Brimstone.
No, we're not going to talk. We're barely going to dive into like the first half of Quicksilver because it does. I mean, it deserves more of a deep dive than we're actually going to give it today.
Well, and I haven't read Brimstone.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
I read it. It was good. It wasn't no freaking Quicksilver, but it cleared up a lot of stuff.
Did it?
Yeah, kinda, ish. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because we're not talking about that book right now. But it kind of flip flopped a little bit. Her character didn't really change a lot. Character changed a little. His character just completely did a 180.
In Quicksilver or in Brimstone?
Brimstone, yeah.
Like I said, I haven't.
He kind of went from being like an actual person to a fanboy, and I didn't really dig that too much. I wish he would have just kept his persona throughout, but I mean, we can't have that. Can't have a male lead character without mindless, hopeless devotion to the female character. Can't have that. Has to be blindly devoted.
That is just not true.
That is absolutely true.
I mean, they have to be like.
If it wasn't like that, you guys would bitch. You wouldn't like him. If he wasn't just absolutely, and that's just something that you guys crave in a relationship.
Hopeless devotion?
In theory. It sounds good on paper. But in practice, you don't like it. You don't like it. If you actually had a relationship where somebody was fawning over you all the time and couldn't get enough of you and you could do no wrong, it wouldn't last long. You want it, in theory. Just like a lot of these concepts from these characters. You guys like the idea of it, but the reality of it, you would not like it. If somebody was like that, if somebody was actually obsessed with you and actually punched people in the face for touching you and actually did that kind of crap, it'd be very inconvenient. The guy would be in jail all the time.
That's true.
I mean, it sounds good on paper. It's very lustful, but in practice, it's just not realistic. It's not really what you want, because something that trumps obsession, it's constant inconvenience. It would be constantly inconvenient. Anytime you went to the grocery store, some bag boy would be getting knocked out. Anytime you went to the bank, some teller would be getting pulled over the counter. It would just be very inconvenient and unrealistic for your life.
Well, I mean, I wish we could find a book that had a more realistic set of devotion, because it's not.
I'd like to read one of these books where the main character fucks up and the guy's like, nope, can't do that.
Where he's just like, nope.
He's just like, nope, I've got some self-respect. Sorry, lady.
He gets the ick.
Yeah, no, not the ick. Some self-respect, some self-worth.
Rachel just says it's called fantasy. Fantasy.
Yeah, it's total. And that's what I said. You guys like the fantasy of it, but you do not like the reality.
The
of
practice. It in practice.
But anyway, the beginning of this book is really what kind of like caught my attention. The main character, it really explained to you at the beginning why the main character is a bad bitch, and she is.
Mm-hmm.
She's a bad bitch. She's not necessarily strong.
No, but she's clever.
But she is clever. She's trained. She's skillful.
Mm-hmm.
She's a leader of sorts. She is. She's a provider.
Rachel says, I feel like her world was also very unique. I felt like I hadn't seen that in a fae fantasy before.
That was going to be my next point. She did some serious world building in this. They dumped you into a world, and she described it in some detail.
You know what it reminded me of, though? The, like, I forget what let's see, Zilvarin. That's the name of the city or the place she lives.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Star Wars.
What? How?
That.
You even seen Star Wars?
Like a million years ago, where.
Okay, so it didn't really remind you of Star
Wars. No, but it did. I got like in an unpopular, the only Star Wars movie I've actually like seen. The one.
Oh, the world reminded you of what was the Star Wars 3 or whatever.
Yeah, well, like whatever it is.
What was that? Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
The world reminded you of Phantom Menace, and I get that. Yeah, I get that.
Very dusty, very hot.
Yeah, it was a desert world. Yeah.
So I mean, that's it. That's kind of like the vibe I got from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does.
But yeah, it's a cool desert world. Cool. It had a cool monarchy type. What do you call it when you have a queen? She's a monarch, but it's like a matriarchy type.
Yeah, matriarchy. That's what it is.
But I mean, you could have just replaced that queen with any other character. It was the vibe that you got from having a ruthless.
Yeah, a ruthless ruler.
Yeah, and the ruler was several hundred years old at least.
Yeah.
So she had some time to kind of impose her will on her subjects, which was really cool. So she had a whole setup going on. Her guard she went into great detail about the guard, and that's another thing. She like went into great detail about like their societal system.
Mm-hmm.
They had the guards. She explained what they were, who they were, how they got to where they're at.
Right.
Why it was such a big deal. Why she did what she did. That was it was kind of a quirky. The thing that sparked the whole thing off was that she got in an altercation with a guard.
Yeah.
And got a hold of one of his gauntlets. Well, these guards are all decked out in solid gold.
Gold gauntlet, yeah.
And gold is like they have a hard time finding metal. And I think that was something that the queen did on purpose to make sure they couldn't have an uprising.
Yeah.
So it was hard to even find metal in this on this desert planet. It was almost as sought after as like water. Water was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all they all had water rations, and that was
6
just the
ounces a
cool
day.
thing about it. It was just like she just like
I do remember that.
put her in this certain area of this city that was they were considered outcast or diseased.
Mm-hmm.
And because they were considered outcasts, their water rations were very low,
Mm-hmm.
and she was in that area, and so she was forced to turn to a life of crime, and that's where she kind of picked up like her rogue skills, and that's what she was. She was a rogue,
Yeah. She was a rogue.
and
Is a rogue. Still a
it
rogue.
explained a lot about her abilities. She was a climber, she was a runner, she was a
She's stealth.
bootleg weaponsmith.
Yeah, and
An underworld. She had a toehold in the underworld, and that's how she met a lot of the other characters that were in the book. And it was just like it made you care about what was going on, and I don't think a lot of that's kind of what got me.
and it opens up with her stealing the gauntlet and her making that like rash kind of like split moment decision of do I
Yeah,
take it
she's
or
like,
do I
should
not?
I keep it? Should I drop it? I should drop it. I should drop it. I should drop it. It's not worth it. They're gonna come get it, and she knew it. And for some strange reason in her mind, she was just like, you know what, fuck it. And she took it,
Right.
knowing for a fact they were going to come after it.
Right.
That nothing was going to be cool after that.
And she's like, and she knew that she was gonna have to get rid of it as soon as possible.
I think that what her idea was that she wasn't gonna fence it. I think what caused that with her wasn't that it wasn't like a quick turnaround because she knew she wasn't gonna be able to fence it. There's no way, and but that's part of the reason why Carrie and Swift came into play,
Right.
right? But I think her idea was not to try to fence it, but I think that her alchemist instincts were kind of just like, oh, metal.
Yeah, like I need it.
Oh, metal.
Well, and Rachel says also it totally made it make sense why she didn't know she had this power when she was malnourished and thirsty all the time, and also being withheld from metal. But the thing is like she did kind of know that she had that ability. She just
Didn't know what the extent of it was.
yeah, she just definitely tried not to use it if she could because it was so strange.
Yeah.
But
And it was illegal.
oh
It
yeah,
was illegal.
Oh, yeah.
If she got caught doing it, she was going to be killed. So it was pretty cool the way that panned out. And then, needless to say, she ended up getting caught.
yeah, but it wasn't. It was her brother who got her caught.
Brother got her
Like
caught.
an idiot.
And you know what? I hope, and I'm pretty confident after Brimstone that she's going to delve into. She's got a brother. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay, so
She's got a brother.
I'm trying to make sure that every time you move your microphone, you aren't fucking with your sound.
Sorry. I'm trying not to burp directly into the mic.
I get
I'm drinking
that.
this Mountain Dew.
Um,
She's got a brother who seems pretty worthless.
so it's her and her brother. Her mom died.
She's been taking care of him like a mother ever since.
She says
She watched her mom die in front of her.
Jessica's gain is too high.
You're getting down.
I always forget which one it is.
Turn it down on the computer. I had you turn it up earlier.
We should try that. Oh, yeah, I messed with the.
Yeah, she's got a brother that's kind of worthless, and she's always got to be trying to play catch up with him and trying to keep him out of trouble, and he doesn't do anything to stay out of trouble because he's always got her to come around behind
Saving
him and
him.
clean up her messes. Yeah. So I'm feeling like in the next book after Brimstone that she's gonna kind of.
Rachel says he was a POS.
Yeah. You know what? I don't think he was.
Well, but you can't reference
Yeah.
Brimstone.
I can't. I'm not going to
can't.
reference Brimstone, but I feel like after Brimstone, they're probably going to delve into his character a little bit more. I'm hoping.
I think it's set to come out either the end of 2026 or beginning of 2027. I think I remember seeing that announcement.
I'm hoping what they'll end up doing is pairing him with Carrie and Swift and having their own little mini adventure. That'd be kind of cool. I was hoping that's what they were gonna do. Not necessarily that, but have Carrie and Swift be more of a. Because I mean, having read to the end of the book, Carrie and Swift's character goes from being a side character to a main character. At the end of the book, he is a main character. He always had kind of like side character energy, but he becomes a main character at the end of this book, and he's a likable character, despite being the way he's a womanizer, and he's kind of like reckless. And that was a complaint that I had. We're kind of going off track with that, but
Rachel says he thought he was just comedic relief. He was comedic relief in the beginning.
He was, yeah.
That was, I think that was the goal. And
but I loved the way that she presented him as comedy relief, and then at the end you realize why he's important. And it was like really cool. It would have been a wasted character. I love it when they take a character that you like, they're likable, they're interesting, you want to see more of them, and then they make them into something more than what you thought they were. I love that. But what were we talking about? Her brother. Oh yeah. So she's like, you can. I'm sorry, I'm taking over.
No, you're fine.
But she's kind of like a mother figure to him, and it was just like a perfect storm of bullshit that happened.
Rachel says, "Not me nodding my head in agreement, like you can see me."
Yeah. But but it was like a perfect storm of shit that happened. She never should have handed him that fucking gauntlet.
The moment she did, I was like,
you knew shit was going to hit the fan when he got his hands on that. Yeah, he wasn't the dude.
She would have had better success handing it to Carrion.
Absolutely. There wouldn't have been, if she would have given that. That's the crappiest thing about it. You think she led you to believe that if Carrion got his hands on this thing, that she would never see it again, and that it would be bad for her. But in all reality, if Carrion would have got his hands on that thing, the book would have ended at page 50 or whatever, whenever it happened, because Carrion knew what he was doing.
Yep. Well, of course he did.
He would have. And you know what? I think that's why she was kind of like going back and forth with him, because she's like, I got this thing and it's too hot for me.
Right.
And nothing's too hot for him.
Right.
He's a smuggler.
Right.
And she knew for a fact he knew what he was doing.
Right.
Which was, I think, was part of the whole interaction with him. But that's not what happened. Her little brother got a hold of it, and then immediately got caught with it. And so she had to take the fall for it, which, she should. It was hers.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended up getting herself...
she gets herself taken in front of the queen. And then...
Which was more or less just like a... What do they call that? When it's just like a farce.
Oh, well, the thing is, what I didn't remember is that she killed... So they surrounded her with guards, and she ended up killing 2 of them.
Killed several of them, yeah.
Well, I'm at the part where she's meeting in front of the queen. Harry in here tells me that you stole from me today. He tells me that you murdered 2 of my guardians. So
not only was she a lawbreaker, but she was also
a murderer.
She killed. It wasn't the thing of it is killing 2 of those guardians was a big deal. She shouldn't have been able to.
But here's what kind of seals her fate is that the queen knows that someone trained her. She knows it, and she knows that she tries.
But nobody did.
Yes, they did. What are you talking about?
She wasn't who was she trained by?
She was trained. Her mom helped run like a resistance. That's how her mom ended up.
Yeah,
dying.
but who taught her how to fight?
The people from the resistance. It says it in this book.
Does it? Where?
If I would have had time to go through it and put tabs, I could tell you.
All right, let's just assume it happened. Move on. I'm not going to argue with something like that. I'm not going to die on that hill. Let's just assume she received some kind of training. She's just hanging out with with resistance
No,
fighters,
they trained her to fight with a sword.
and she was good.
And she was good. That's how she was able. Rachel says totally in the book.
Okay, all right, I'll buy
But
it.
she refuses to tell the queen. She says that she made her own wooden sword, taught herself, and
She's
the
not
queen.
gonna drop anybody.
No, and the queen's like bullshit.
But she knew her fate was sealed from the beginning. Though she knew what was going. She knew what her end was going to be. Giving somebody up wasn't going to help her at all.
Yeah.
And so anyway, long story short, she's banished to death.
She's not even like banished to death. The
She
fact
said, "Kill this bitch."
pretty much, but you did buy it. You did buy it in the book.
What does that mean?
He was like, I'll buy it. You were saying that you would buy it, that she was trained.
Okay,
Like,
I
"It's in the
believe you.
book."
I don't have to fact check you. I believe it. She just read it,
So
and she's kind of a stickler for things like that.
I was very surprised by how quickly they killed her.
Hmm? Why?
I don't, because in every book that I have ever read where there is a female main character, there's always someone who swoops in and saves her, right?
They talk. That's another thing about this book that I liked.
It doesn't
It's
happen.
like realistic. Oh, she's like, this chick might be somebody important. She might not be. She might be lying to me. She might not be. But the end result is going to be the same. She has to die, and if she's dead, I won't have to worry about it.
But
I thought she was some kind of spy. That's what she was trying to get out of her. She thought she was some kind of spy for the Fae.
So here's this part. He says death is an open doorway that is meant to be walked through. On the other side lies peace. Count yourself lucky that you get to make the journey at all. Because he can't die. That's right. I forgot. The queen made it so all of her fucking guards can't die. That's how she was
Yeah.
able to enforce everything, is because they weren't allowed to die. Or her like higher ups.
You find that out very much later on.
No, you don't. It says it here. That's why he's saying that, because
No, I mean like the end result. Like he pops back up later on.
Right.
He didn't die. He wasn't killed.
no, but that's what I'm saying, is that's why he says that to her. This is what he's saying to her. And then he throws her to the ground, and then he says, well, for what it's worth, I am sorry, and he brought the blade down. So he cuts her.
And she was dying.
Yeah.
She was actively dying.
Because he cuts her through the stomach. But then he says, this is the part where you scream. And then he twists the blade. So he doesn't just like gut her. He makes sure that there's absolutely no way.
She pissed him off.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah, she pissed him off. He was gonna try to make it quick, but she pissed him off. She probably saved her own life.
Probably.
But anyway, long story short, can't get down in the mud with details like that. If we're gonna move forward at all, she ends up in this. She grabs the sword out of the frozen portal, out of the frozen pool.
No.
Right? Yeah. She like takes his blade, which is Quicksilver. Right?
Give me a second.
And kills him with it.
Okay. He took another dagger and looked at it, considering its edge. They'll burn or choke to death. Stomach wounds are painful, yes, but I made this one quick for you. Now, he shook his head, flipping over the blade in his hand. One last really good scream for the queen, and we'll have you on your way, all right? The dagger flashed, quick as lightning. Heron thrust down, aiming it to drive it point first into my other shoulder, but something happened. The metal tip froze an inch away from my filthy torn shirt hovering above me. He stayed his hand. I gagged on another mouthful of blood. So he physically can't move the dagger. It's getting.
She grabbed it. Grabbed it, ripped it apart, and killed him.
No,
with it.
she isn't touching it.
She doesn't have to.
But that's what I'm saying.
She's an alchemist.
So. Wrapped her will around it.
See.
Okay. Well, you can't just say I don't remember. This is why I wanted to be able to look through this before we did this discussion, because you're telling me not to get into the details of this book.
That's why I didn't want to get
but
into
that was
details
the
of
point of getting into of doing this, is to get into the details of this is why we got into a fight the first time we tried doing this.
That's a minor detail.
It's not a minor detail.
She kills him. You know that. And then she was gonna grab that blade and kind of try the blade that was in the pool, the frozen pool.
A voice inside me commanding me to unmake the dagger.
Yeah, it was Quicksilver talking to her.
Yeah, I know that.
So that's where you kind of find out that she's special.
I thought she didn't.
She coiled that thing around him, and
I thought she locked it into drowned him in it.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that happened.
Again. You look so fucking unimpressed with my bullshit,
well,
but that was the whole point of this. Because I didn't remember.
Okay, what does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? I'm trying to get her through the portal so we can talk about what happens afterwards.
But I feel like the lead up to the portal is important, because that was something that it doesn't happen in these books. That they don't fucking get a twisted gut wound at the very beginning where I thought.
Yeah, she went into that portal a dead woman.
Yeah.
She went in a dead woman. If he hadn't intervened, if Kingfisher hadn't intervened when he saved her, which he did, he saved her.
Yeah.
He had to done that and helped her out. She would come out the other side dead. She was a dead woman. She'd already bled out.
Right.
The process of bleeding out.
When the dart it ends with. My silent scream died on my lips. Death carried me into the pool. The darkness took me before the silver cut.
Yeah, she mistook him for the angel of death.
Right. And I thought, when I first read this, that she was dead. I was like,
no.
Makes sense.
No,
I was like, there must be another main female character.
I knew that was Kingfisher from the beginning. I knew that was him. There's a little something that talks about him before that point.
Is there?
Maybe, but I knew for a fact that was Kingfisher. That was her male lead. That was her boyfriend. That was her new boyfriend.
That was her new boyfriend.
Because it's like she was talking him up to being this big badass, which he fucking was.
Well, yeah.
And that's why she mistook him for some kind of angel of death, because that's what he was. And but
Rachel says he looked too evil to not be the lead.
Exactly, he was too evil. That was another thing about him that I loved about this book. She painted him as an evil person, or as at least a big badass, and he fucking was.
I hated Kingfisher at the beginning of this book.
I loved
I
it.
fucking
Loved it.
I was like, this is, and I knew from reading the back or whatever that she was supposed to end up with Kingfisher. I knew that in my heart of hearts.
You wanted her to end up with Ren because he was.
I did. I wanted her to end up with Ren, and
nice
I would
guy.
even have settled for Carrion. Anybody but Kingfisher. It took me so long to give a shit about Kingfisher.
But you know what? After that's. I mean, we're kind of skipping ahead. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it when it comes up. Okay.
I hate it.
Anyway, she gets saved by Kingfisher.
It comes up because she meets Ren pretty early on.
Yeah,
in this.
yeah. But she gets saved by Kingfisher and then doesn't see him again
for
a long time.
A couple weeks.
Her entire recovery, because you know why? The dude had shit to do.
Well, and he had to fight his inner demons or whatever.
Yeah,
The Quicksilver
he had given her his
amulet.
locket that was keeping the beasts at bay to save her. Didn't tell her. Didn't tell her anything about it. Didn't tell her anything about what was going on with him or the suffering that he was going through.
Yeah, he was locked up.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he had things to do. And anyway, he was fighting his own battles, which is another thing that I liked about this because yeah, she was recovering. He knew she was safe. He had her over there with his sister in a palace being taken care of.
But the only reason he even gave a shit about her safety was because he knew she could manipulate Quicksilver.
Not at all.
Yes.
Not at all.
Yes.
No. He saved that woman because when he saw her, he knew that was his woman. He was like, okay, she can manipulate Quicksilver, cool. But when he saw her, he knew that was his woman. But he also knew he had other shit to do. So he went and took care of his fucking business because he was a leader above anything else.
He says it later that it was because they are afraid of lovers and he couldn't watch it happen.
But
okay, maybe. Again, like I don't remember all the details of it, but
yeah, I do. And you know what? The thing about it is I remembered that kind of shit because I was looking at it from a male's point of view. Whereas you were kind of looking, that's why you hated the guy. I know why people act the way they act. He was a tortured soul. He was.
Oh yeah, I know he's a tortured soul. But you can't say from this point of the book that he knew that she was his woman. You didn't fucking know that until you finished the book.
Yeah, he did.
You didn't as the reader.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
no, you fucking.
Yeah, I did.
That is crazy to me. That's just like, oh, you knew the entire time. You just knew that's how this was gonna go.
Yeah, he was fighting that battle in his head the whole time. But you know what? He was a dude. He wasn't just gonna be fawning over the whole time. He didn't necessarily trust her just because he had feelings for her. Also, he probably. He always had lustful intentions towards her from the very beginning, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
He always
but
did.
lust isn't a reason.
But he wasn't that guy, man. He's a fighter and he's a killer, and there was a reason for it too. And you find out later in the book why. That guy had been through some shit.
Yeah, he had been.
So you don't expect him to. When you go through the kind of shit that guy's gone through, you don't expect them to act all flowery and sweet and nice because that's not what he's about. He's seen things that were more important than that.
But what I'm saying is that you, as a reader, didn't know from the moment and this is what Rachel just said, he brought her through the portal, you literally had no idea. You didn't know when he brought her through the portal that he knew that he was her lover. You had no fucking clue. Don't me. No, you fucking didn't.
Yeah, you did.
And I will die on this hill. There's no fucking way.
Knock yourself
Okay,
out.
I will. I'll just knock myself out. There's no fucking way you knew. There's no way.
I knew.
You knew. Oh, you just
the more he hung out with her, the more he realized it. The more he was just like, "Yep, that's my bitch. That's my woman, right there." The more he hung out with her, the more it solidified. And at some point, he just couldn't help himself.
No.
Yeah, that's
No.
That's what happened.
No. I don't believe you.
And also, this wasn't his first fucking rodeo. She tried to get one by on him whenever he had her in the forge, and he just let it happen because he wanted to see how it rolled out. And that's what he was doing the whole time. He was crass, he was rude, he was shitty, and he was doing it on purpose because he wanted to see how it would pan out. He was curious.
He says he knew. He doesn't. He just claims he knew the entire time.
Yeah, I knew the entire time.
No,
I was like, would it had a bit made more sense? Would it have made more sense for her to end up with somebody like Ren? Yeah, it would have. He was a nice guy. Cared about her. wanted to see her do well. He was taking care of her. He was protective of her. But so was Kingfisher.
I'm not saying Kingfisher wasn't, but I'm also saying
He was
that
just
when
kind of a dick.
when he brought her into the Fey realm, there was no
Well,
way.
he knew for a fact he had to get her. He knew for a fact.
I'm saying, I understand that because
he had
knew
he
he
had to
needed her
bring he
abilities.
had to bring her back. He did not have to fall for her, but he did.
I'm saying that there is no way, as a reader, you would have known
I
that.
knew.
Oh no, you didn't.
And that's what made. Yes, I did. Don't tell me what I know. Don't tell me what I know. I knew for a fact that that's what was going on with him. She didn't convert his ass.
I'm not saying she did.
He had a thing for her from the minute he saw her, and you could tell when it happened. You could tell when it happened. And that leads us to my next point.
Oh yeah, what can that
My
be?
next point was that a lot of these enemies to lovers, a lot of these villain lover books,
Mm-hmm.
they want to paint these characters as villains.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of not, because they've always got like these stipulations in there where like he has to be an asshole to everybody but her, and he has to be this certain way to everybody but her, and he has to fawn over her all the time. He has to be super protective of her, and blah 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 blah. You have this whole freaking checklist of the way that of enemies to lovers villain is supposed to act. He didn't.
I don't think that's true either.
He wasn't like that. He wasn't like that. We just got done reading like 3 of these things. And super early on, sometimes the only difference between a believable enemies to lovers and a non-believable enemies to lovers is a few chapters of dialogue. We had a few chapters of dialogue between these two people where they were both acting a certain way, and she wrote it really well. Kingfisher had her believing that he wasn't in love with her, and he was. He had her believing that he could take her or leave her, and he was just using her for whatever. He had her believing that. Had us believing that at some point, right? But that's not the way it was, and he knew it, and you knew he knew it, because it was described in the book. She let you in on what was going on inside of his head. That all this crap that he was going through with her, yeah, he was kind of a dick. It was in his nature. It came natural to him to act that way. It did. But that's not what was in his heart of hearts. It wasn't. But he still wanted to see how it panned out. He knew for a fact she had to make those things out of the Quicksilver.
Well, yeah.
She had to do that, whether he loved her or not. He knew she had to do that, and she had to be working on it.
Okay,
Practical.
well, yeah,
Practical.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Very male. Very male.
I'm not saying he's
A lot of the decisions that he made were very male.
Okay, yes.
And very believable.
Yes.
And the whole while, he's having these interactions with her, and it was just a believable scenario. She gave us chapter after chapter, sometimes too many. It got a little slow in the middle.
Yeah, it did.
Sometimes too many interactions with the two of them that filled out his character. You cannot tell me that Kingfisher isn't one of the best fucking villain enemies to lovers characters you've ever read. You can't tell me he's not.
No, he is.
Because in the beginning you don't even want her to get with him.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm not saying
don't
that you're
even
wrong
want
with that
you
part.
don't even want her to get with him. But by the end, you are a Kingfisher fan.
Yes.
You love that dude.
Still wish he was with Carrion.
What?
I still wish there was something going on between her and Carrion. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Why?
You are literally Carrion. You're the real life Carrion.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. You just have a type.
I might like the idea of tall, dark, and brooding, but let's be real. I like blonde hair, blue-eyed, fucking jokesters.
Yeah, that you're just biased. You're just biased.
Rachel says, Rachel says Carrion is a slut. I just had to approve that message. She says that she did say I had to like hit approve to show up because I said the word slut. But Rachel says I thought it was funny he wanted to kill the fox the whole time.
Who?
Kingfisher. He fucking hated that fox. He still does. In
this book.
In this book. No, in the brief little bit I wrote of Brimstone, he was still like, fuck that fox.
But you know what he was also like? He had this. Okay, Kingfisher had the same relationship with that fox as I have with your dog. Because he did not particularly care for that fox. He didn't really give a shit about it. He didn't care if it died, but he knew that his woman would be freaking livid.
Yeah.
If anything happened to that fox, especially if he knew about it.
Yep.
So he went out there and risked his life to save that fucking fox.
Yeah. And that might be a tad bit of a spoiler for Brimstone, but it's literally like the first.
It's the first.
pages.
Yeah, it's the first few pages of the book. It was really kind of silly. Really kind of silly.
In fact, it might be the prequel. It might be the prequel of Brimstone.
Yeah. But anyway. You find out so much about Kingfisher's character. I really only like skimmed it up until the part where they were in the forge together.
Well, let's talk about how Carrion continues to be part of this book.
Oh yeah.
Because she tells
to me that was a little bit vulgar. How that all went down.
What are you talking about?
It was a little bit vulgar.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that part. You
said
it. So,
yeah.
Well, okay. So she tells Kingfisher, "I'll make these stupid things for you, but you have to go get my brother. I need to make sure my brother is safe, that he is alive."
Which was that was a part about the book that I really wasn't. I didn't really buy into. Is that she seemed like she was so worried about her brother. She didn't really act like it.
I thought
she went back to try to get him one time, but then after that, she kind of just like hunkered down and like. But maybe that might have been just her faith in Kingfisher.
I think that's a lot.
No,
this goes into the conversation that you and I had a couple weeks ago about what I would do if you suddenly died. Like, how would I handle that? And it becomes a logical sense. She fucking knows she can't go back through the Quicksilver and get her brother. She knows that she has to rely on this motherfucker to go do it for her. And so that's what she does. She tries once and fails, and she's like, well, obviously this ain't gonna fucking work. And if she's like, all right, just make these stupid fucking pendants, he'll go get my brother and leave me alone.
Yeah. And that's what she did.
And so that's what she did. So I don't think saying that, well, she didn't actually. No, I bet she actually was.
She kind of like talked him up a lot. She really kind of made her brother like a big deal in her mind. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it was just like one of those things where even if something's important to you, you get distracted by day to day. I think that's what ended up happening. She just got distracted by day to day. And she couldn't make getting her brother back just like every waking second of her mind.
Well, no, because you would have hated the book at that point.
Yeah, so it would have become redundant. It would have become annoying.
Yep. So Kingfisher goes back through the portal.
Yeah.
And tracks down the person who smells like her the most.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah.
Yeah. He was following her scent.
Following her scent.
Because he had assumed that the person that had her scent on them the strongest was going to be her brother because they're directly related to each other.
Right. However, here's the part of that I didn't particularly. I was like, really? Carrion was so clean, so well put together that
He knows.
But still,
Thanos.
But
Yeah.
it had been how long since they had fought?
Those Fae were about that, dude. They were about that. It was almost magical. It was almost, and that's the way she kind of pitched it. It was almost magical how well they could smell somebody on somebody.
Okay, but still, it didn't. It made you see. It made it seem like they hadn't done the deed for a hot minute. Like they did it once.
Oh yeah, and they live in the desert and don't bathe.
And then he can still. And so the person who smells most like her is Carrion. That was stupid.
He followed her scent down.
That was a plot device.
It absolutely was. Yeah, I'm not even gonna argue that. Not even argue. It was her trying to get Carrion on the other side of the gate.
It was, yeah, because she had a plan.
Yeah, she had a job for him. She wanted to get Carrion on the other side of the gate.
It was unbelievable.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit. Because I don't care how close related you are to your brother, he doesn't smell like your vagina. He doesn't. And that's how he picked up that scent. It wasn't the scent of her as a person or her genetics.
Rachel says, well, in his defense, also, he literally told him that he was Carrion.
Oh, yeah, and he lied to him.
Oh, yeah, that he was the brother.
Yeah, he lied to him.
Again.
Are we back up yet?
Reconnection successful. The last time this did this, it wasn't too big of a jump from the editing. Okay, yeah, it says it already says what we're streaming.
But I kind of like that. I like.
Oh.
Is she calling you to let you know
she
that we're
is,
disconnected?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Oh wait, you're. What are you? Speakerphone. Okay. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So can.
That's horrible. Turn your.
It's telling me that your broadcast has ended.
That's weird, because
Let's just start it back up.
well, I mean, it says it started back up.
Here's another one.
Another one.
And another one. I really wanted to include Rachel in this because she really liked the book and she was part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to fix. Okay, cool. I don't know how to fix the whole echoing thing. Pull back up so I can see comments. Welcome to the chat room. Alright, I think we're back up and running. Seems like we are. Seems like we're back up and running. Okay. Still holding my phone like I'm on the phone with Rachel, but I wasn't. She done hung up on me.
She hung up on
She's
you.
like, I'd rather
I'm
watch
back.
the,
We're back now.
rather watch the Twitch
Don't
stream
worry
with
about
you. Don't talk to me directly. I want to comment.
She'd rather type in her comments. Anyway, we're talking about Carrion. Perfect
love
example
Carrion.
of a good morally gray character.
Yes.
Was, and that might be why you liked him so much.
Probably.
He's legit. He's a morally great character. Does he do bad things? Yes, he does.
Yep.
Is he a good person? Yes, he is.
Yep. Is
he a cutthroat? Yes, he is.
I love Carrion. I still want her to end up with Carrion. I
Not
haven't
gonna-
read.
She's
shut
not
up.
going to end up
Shut
with
up!
Carrion.
Don't ruin my vibe. I haven't read.
Well, you can
Brimstone
do
yet.
that all the way through Brimstone,
okay, I will.
and then about halfway through, you're going to drop the issue.
I'm not going to drop the issue
Because Kingfisher ends up having a problem with him. Because of that shit. Yeah, he ends up having a problem with him because he knows it. He knows that Carrion has feelings for Saris. So it gets brought up, and I'm not going to give you any spoilers. But anyway, back to but anyway, he ends up going and getting Carrion and bringing him back over to Fairyland, where the hell they live. Which is another cool thing about this book is that she lives in this desert world, and Kingfisher lives in basically like a Psycho Shifter's world.
Oh,
they live in a winter wonderland.
Yeah.
Always cold. Always freezing. They're basically on a mountaintop.
Snowy.
Yeah, snowy. And she implies, I don't know, is it in this book where they imply that there's like countless worlds and they all have different traits?
I think so. I think it's alluded to.
Yeah. There's a bunch of
I don't
different
remember
worlds,
when, though.
and these quicksilver pools are like a link between different worlds.
I can't turn on rewards. I have to earn the right to be affiliated.
Earn the right. Just prove yourself.
I have to have so many viewers throughout all my streams, and I think I'm finally up to the amount of streams I need to have. But my biggest thing is viewers. So if you can get other people to like and view and watch for so long, then
I would
can
love
be
it.
affiliated.
I would love it if some people like chimed in like she does, because it really gives us more to talk about.
Both on YouTube and on Twitch. Yeah, that's the reason why you can't use those bits and shit, is because I'm not allowed to have them. I don't have enough followers. Which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. So
It's like I can't like bring myself to stop kissing these characters' asses. She's really made some good characters in this book. She's made, and a lot of times it's almost like whenever you are reading these books, that it's basically the author with her hand in a puppet. Everybody's a little bit the same. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Everybody has the same kind of thoughts in their head. Everybody has the same way of speaking. She did not do that with these guys.
No.
She's also got a plethora of side characters
Oops.
she introduces with this. Like
I don't know if this is still working. If my microphone is still working.
ask Rachel. You can still hear you.
Is my microphone working, Rachel? I mean, it's showing up on my OBS, but I don't know if it's showing up on anything else. It's not showing up on my, maybe a little bit on the voice meter. Trying to get rid of that fucking echo. She says, yeah, it's working. Okay, cool.
Okay.
But
I can turn my gain down a little bit. I can turn my volume down a little bit if you want.
it says it's in and out. Oh, I messed with my gain. Let me turn it back up a little.
Maybe I just change your volume.
I don't fucking know anymore.
Turn my volume down a little bit. It might help.
I don't.
But anyway, she makes you really like fall for these characters. You care about Kingfisher. You care about Sarah Swain. You care about Carrion. You care about
his sister.
His sister. You care about his pack members.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
They're cool people. They have interesting stories. They have interesting backgrounds. It goes into it a little bit more in the next book, but I think by the end of this book they really cover quite a bit of it, of the relationship with the members of this pack that Kingfisher has, his friends.
Rachel says, except for that stupid dumb bitch who got her arm cut off.
I feel like she kind of got a raw deal. Was she kind of a cunt? Yes, she was. Yes, she was. But she kind of got a raw deal. She had a family heirloom of hers that meant a lot to her, destroyed and then molded and given to somebody else. That was a raw deal. She didn't. Did she deserve that? Probably.
Probably.
But I mean, I think it was a really cool thing she did, because that chick leaned on that thing heavy. She leaned on that sword heavy.
Yeah.
And you knew that. What was that other guy's name?
Rachel says,
even though it didn't. What did they call that whenever God power? Even though the sword didn't have God power when she was wielding it.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. Do what?
The sword that she was wielding didn't have any God power.
No.
It had lost
no.
its God power.
Yeah. Yep. So when
It
she
wasn't.
remade
It was bonded to her, but it didn't have. It wasn't living up to its full potential. But when she reforged it, it did. It did have God power, and it really kind of belonged. I like the way that the guy ended up with it. The way that it bonded to him, kind of did a little switcheroo there. It was on accident.
Which was funny.
Clever. It was good writing.
I like that guy too. I don't remember what his name was.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to know his name, because he is such a cool character in this book. He is. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, very loyal, very valiant, fearless. He's a warrior. And I think what did he start out as, like a bard?
Yeah, something like
He
that.
was a performer when Kingfisher met him. Kingfisher ended up saving his life in kind of like a
I don't remember.
profound way.
She says Rifus, Riphus.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say I don't
Yeah.
remember what his name was. I don't.
But Kingfisher ended up like sharing his soul with that guy to bring him back from the dead. Remember?
No.
He owes his life to Kingfisher, and those two are intertwined.
And that was another guy I wanted her to end up with. Anybody but
But
Kingfisher.
he was just a good dude. You know what? The thing about Kingfisher is that we talk about alphas and betas. Kingfisher was a straight up freaking alpha. He was the best of the best. He just was. He was the best of the best.
He isn't, or anything like that. I'm not saying that Kingfisher wasn't.
And he
actually
deserved
a good
deserved
guy.
it. It wasn't about him being a good guy. He deserved what he got. He was a warrior. He had immense power, and you wouldn't have known it by talking to him or hanging out with him.
Right. Yeah.
He didn't flaunt it.
He was what, as I would say, down to earth.
Yeah, he was very down to earth. But when he went into battle, he was a god.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But he never imposed that. I mean, he would try to intimidate people.
Yeah, he did a little.
He was intimidating, but he was just as intimidating as he had to be. He didn't have to flaunt this godlike power that he had, which he did. He was insanely powerful. When he swung his sword, legions fell. He was a bad motherfucker, but he never led you to believe that. He led you to believe that he was intimidating, but he didn't lead you to believe that he had this godlike power that he had, because he didn't need to.
No, he didn't. He didn't need it. Didn't want it. It didn't matter. But I was still on the I want everybody but Kingfisher trope at that point.
Really?
Up until that point, yeah.
You know what? I think you're gonna like the next book then, because he does a complete flip flop. And
I think that's just the
I'm getting the tequila hiccup.
as it is. I think it is just the reverse harem girl in me.
Maybe.
Actually.
You know what? You know what it probably
There
was.
so many good
You know,
male
yeah.
characters.
You know what? You were in why choose mode, is what it was. You were in why choose. Like, why should she be stuck with Kingfisher, who was basically, he was kind of he was a drag.
Yeah.
He was a drag. There were other characters that were more upbeat than him, more fun to be around. Carrion being one of them. Ren being one of them. They were just like a different flavor that you would appreciate. Kingfisher was one note. He was very somber. And but you know what? His character changes later on. It does. He becomes less somber. I think that what it was is that he at the beginning of the book, he had kind of resigned himself to his fate. He knew that he had been infected by the Quicksilver,
Yeah.
and eventually it was going to kill him. But he was just making do with what he had, doing the best he could, as far as he could take it. He was struggling, and he was just kind of like, he had already resigned himself to death, so he didn't really see any point in looking forward to the future or being upbeat or having any kind of optimism, because
He had one goal in mind, and that was to beat the enemy and make sure that everyone would stay safe.
I'm not even, until he died. He was just trying to keep going until he died, and he assumed that he was going to, because
Right.
there was no cure for the Quicksilver. It was going to poison him to death, and he knew it. So he was just trying to make it as far as he could until it was over. And yeah, it was kind of a drag. But it was probably it's kind of a drag for him too.
Well,
Nobody else was cursed for death.
I'm just saying that at some
Except
point,
for that other guy. What was his name? What did Rachel call him? What was his name?
Rufus, right? Riphus.
Rifus?
Rifus, yeah.
Rifus. Rifus was going to die when Kingfisher died. They were linked at the soul.
Right.
Yeah. So if one of the and that was like that's what I'm saying. That's a big deal for Kingfisher, for this guy. He basically said, well, when this guy who's not super powerful didn't even have a god sword at the time. He wanted to save that guy who was important to him. So he like linked his soul with this
I'm not sure
guy.
we aren't talking about two different characters at this point.
I think that's his name. It was hard to remember.
No. I thought it started with a D.
No.
Wasn't Rifus his like right hand man?
No. Ren was.
Ren. They just happened to have two.
Yeah, Ren was his boy.
Yeah.
But that was the cool thing about it, is they were all his fucking boys. They were all his boys. He'd have done the same thing for any of them. He had a flawless devotion to each person in his team, and they all felt that way.
Okay, Renfis is Renfis is his right hand man.
Yeah.
So I don't think that
Do we have
Rufus.
to Google it?
It might be faster.
Might be faster. Rachel helped us out. She's trying. What did they call them? They called themselves.
Don't remember. I don't remember.
Looking up the wiki fandom.
Okay.
It was purple. Means I've done it before. Renfis was that guy.
Yeah, that was the right hand man.
Was it Lorith?
No, I thought. I'm looking.
Yeah, that was his name.
Lorith?
Lorith, yeah, that was his name. Same as Lorith.
What was his sister's name?
Hold on, I have to skip over the IQ test. Oh man, they got so deep in the next book, man. It was so cool. Isabel, is her name?
No, sounds right. Okay.
No, that's not her. That's the witch. Does it even matter? Hayden was her brother's name.
Yeah, I knew what her brother's name was.
Onyx makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Lorith. I think that was his name. Anyway, regardless of what their names were, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, it does matter a little, but. I mean, keep talking. You're fine.
What's her name? Moss named one of her characters.
Okay, yeah, it is Lorith. It's right here.
Yeah. I like that dude. He's a good dude.
I did too.
Super skillful. Fantastic warrior. That was the thing about it. Super skillful, fantastic warrior, wielded a god sword, head and shoulders above anybody, Carrion included.
Mm-hmm.
Like head and shoulders above Carrion. Carrion was a good fighter in his world.
Yeah, in his world, but not in a world where they've been at war for centuries.
Yeah, but also Fae.
Yes.
Also Fae.
Yes.
But head and shoulders above Carrion, he was an elite member of this group. He was a big fucking badass. When he went to a fight, he came out every time.
You're talking about Lorith, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't a hair on Kingfisher's ass.
No. He was still pretty inexperienced, and
It wasn't that. It wasn't that he was inexperienced. He was very experienced. Kingfisher was just that much more powerful than he was. He just was. That's what I'm saying. That this guy was a freaking demigod. Everybody he fought with were just insanely powerful. And he was just like, he could have took them all on at the same time. But you couldn't tell. Because he didn't act that way.
Well, but
Now, if that chick that was in his team, if she would have harnessed his power, you would have known it. It would have been a different scenario. Because she would have wielded it differently. She would have thrown it around a little more. That's why she didn't have it. Kingfisher, his self-control was off the charts.
yeah, it was. But I think he learned that after being imprisoned.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he learned that from being imprisoned, and all the crap that he went through while he was in that labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
Which we're kind of skipping ahead.
Well, but I mean, I'm just throwing it out there where
Yeah.
he would have learned that. It's not like it just came naturally or anything like that. It came from the
not
trials
just that. I don't
of
think
surviving.
it came from the trials. I think that he survived the trials because of that. That guy could take a whooping.
Oh yeah.
And he just kept on going.
Can't stop, won't stop.
It was kind of an admirable quality for him. He kept to his guns.
Mm-hmm.
Kept to his what he thought was important.
Mm-hmm.
And he never gave up on it, even after dying over and over and over and over for how long? 100 years?
Something like that, yeah.
He was a freaking. He was impressive. His mental capability was impressive. And for that kind of speaks for Sarah Svane's character, that she was cool enough and impressive enough, and she was a cool chick.
Mm-hmm.
She made good decisions.
Usually,
yeah, with what she had to work with, you know.
right.
She caught this guy's attention, this demigod's attention. And he just decided, you know what, this is my girl.
Well, kind of.
Kind of ass. Read Brimstone and tell me. And especially after the end of this book, which I'd like to go. Do you want to do another live on this, or just to do some spoilers?
I mean, it's up to you. I can't even tell how long we've been on because we did it.
It's chopped up.
It did chop it. It did chop itself. So, because normally I'd be able to tell you how long we've been. Oh wait, it might tell me in OBS.
But what I was super impressed about.
We've been on for a little over an hour.
Okay. What I was super impressed about this book the most was
Mm-hmm.
that by about the middle of the book, or 3/4 into the book, I cared what happened to Carrion Swift. I cared what happened to him.
You didn't want him to die.
I cared what happened to Kingfisher. I cared what happened to Saris. I cared about these characters at all.
The only person I didn't give a shit was Dana.
Who?
She was the one whose sword got blown up.
But in the next book.
In the next book, let's see.
In the next book.
This is how far I am into the next book.
In the next book, even her character becomes
maybe at least this
redeemable.
far in, I don't give a shit about her.
Yeah,
still.
even her character becomes a little bit redeemable. You don't want to see her killed off. You don't.
Rachel said, "Oh yeah." She said, "Yeah, half of the book was left," and I was like, "Oh shit, so much bad stuff could happen," and then it kind of did.
And then it did, yeah. The end seemed a little bit rushed. We'll go into that next time. The end seemed a little bit rushed.
The end is absolutely rushed.
Yeah.
The end is absolutely rushed.
But I feel like the part of that was the fact that she was already about 600 pages in by that point.
Well, the book is only 600 pages.
She could have delved into that a little bit more. The end, at the end, when I reached the end, I was like, come on. But then when I took a little bit of time for it to digest what had actually happened there,
Mhm.
and then it almost like didn't really kick in until the second book. I know that she just kind of like ended it a certain way so that she could have a second book. But even though the end seemed a little bit rushed and it seemed a little bit unbelievable for a fantasy book, whatever, it really kind of like kind of got you juiced up for the next book, and you're kind of wanting to know what's going to happen. It's almost like, go ahead.
Ward says the vampire guy really creeped her out a lot. Maybe it was because
Who said that?
Rachel did.
Rachel.
She said maybe it's because she was audio booking, but it really did creep her out.
It's because he was such a sack of shit. He was a real villain. Through and through.
Yeah, he was.
Through and through.
They all were. All
self-serving.
The queen, that Malcolm, the vampire guy, and Kingfisher's dad.
His dad.
Or whoever he was.
King.
He was the king. I thought he was his dad.
No, it's not his dad.
It's his sister. His sister's dad.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, sister's dad. Not his dad.
No, but his sister's.
Oh, did you find out in this book what happens to his dad?
I don't think so.
You do in the next one.
I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm assuming not.
Yeah, that was the whole thing, and it kind of makes you realize why the king hates him so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the next book, it goes into all that stuff. It's not. I didn't like that book as well. I don't think that it was really as well written. It might have been just because she kind of like screwed up Kingfisher's character. That might have just left a sour taste in my mouth for the rest of the book. But
would you read the third one?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did Kingfisher redeem himself in the second one to read the third one?
Redeem himself. Well, that's what kind of happened. That's what kind of happened. Without any spoilers, that's what kind of happened in the second book. Is that she made such a big deal out of Kingfisher's character in the first book that it really made me a fan of Kingfisher.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think in the second book she kind of realized that Kingfisher wasn't the main character.
Oh. So then you were more focused on.
And she focused a little bit more on Ceres and what she was doing, what she had going on, and kind of like put him.
Backburner?
No, back where he went. Back where he's supposed to go. He's the love interest.
And not.
It's still like waffled back and forth between like her point of view and his.
Right.
I think it even broached on like Carrion's point of view a few times. I would have liked to have seen a lot more of like. I hope that in the book after this that you get a little more character development out of Carrion Swift, because I think the potential's there. I think that the potential for him to be something other than comedy relief would be a good idea. But she never really did it. He's always just kind of like the goober.
I feel like it's hard in those kind of books though, because you don't want to focus. You get people so attached to the main character that when you try to focus more on these side characters, that it loses its flavor.
All it takes is a couple paragraphs in a chapter to make you a little more endearing towards that character. That's what happened with that other guy, that Lorth. He wasn't the main character. He didn't have any main character energy at all.
No.
She was just using him to give Ceres a little bit of backstory on Kingfisher. But in doing that, she made his character likable. And just like the interactions between that Lorth guy and Carrion made you kind of, it's just like little nuances where you're just like, okay, this guy's a badass, but he didn't start out that way. And
Right.
Kingfisher was a reason for that. But he took kind of like the second chance that Kingfisher gave him and turned it into something amazing, and became an amazing warrior. But it to take chapter after chapter after chapter for you to come to that conclusion. It didn't. It just took a couple of conversations between Ceres and that Lorth guy, and you liked him. you don't want to see him die. You don't want bad things. You want him to be successful. You want him to have his own love interest, and you want him to find happiness. The same with Carrie and Swift. You want good things to happen for Carrie because you know he's a cool guy.
You kind of want good thing, a happy ever after for all the characters in the book, really. Top priority though.
Yeah.
Top priority though is Ren. Ren is my dude.
Ren's got some side stuff going on in the second book. He kind of goes off and is MIA for a long time, and she explains in a little bit of detail what happens to him, but she doesn't go into any real detail about it. And yeah, Ren's character, like that's what I'm saying, she could go off and do a side book on any one of these characters, and you'd be happy to see it. Where it's different whenever, like these side characters that come up in like what are Hercules, Psycho Shifters.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a spin-off from Psycho Shifters and you start following, which it happens, right? It happens in Psycho Shifters.
Yeah, it does. It does
If
branch
there's
off.
I'm not gonna read those fucking books. I'm not.
And Rachel says, and that chick got her hand back, didn't she? Yeah, it grew
Yeah,
back.
it healed back. Yeah, somebody healed her. Yeah, she got her hand back.
What I didn't realize is at the end of this book, there is bonus chapters from Kingfisher's point of view.
Yeah, and I think that explains a lot. Did you read that?
Mm-mm.
That explains a lot as to what was going through his head.
Because I don't remember why. I know when I originally read Quicksilver, I did the audiobook, and then I did like Kindle. So I don't remember why I got this book that like real life. So no, I've never read the bonus chapter.
Yeah, he's a lot more endearing than you give him credit for. It's just because and it's the same thing with most guys. You don't know what's going on in their head, so you don't know how they truly feel about things. So you just kind of take them at face value, and you just deal with whatever they present to you.
She says, I still don't understand why he was hearing the people in the stadium in the Quicksilver in his eye. The stadium. He was hearing the Quicksilver talk, right? Like those were the voices in his head. Was from the Quicksilver in his brain, in his like bloodstream.
I don't know what the deal is with that either. The Amarath Moore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know what the connection was with that either. It might have just been the Quicksilver taunting him. It might have been that the Quicksilver was the power from the Quicksilver was responsible for the fact that they were even alive. Because they were not vampires, were they?
She said the people in the stadium were chanting the Amaranthum or whatever the fuck it was. It said because she's doing talk to text. It said a Rathmore.
Amarath Moore.
Which were the people in the stadium. So
What does that translate to?
I don't remember.
It was morbid, whatever it was.
Well, it might have been because if he had the Quicksilver while he was in the Free Us is what. Because the Quicksilver's trapped in his body.
Yeah.
That's why.
It runs through.
It doesn't want to be in his body. It's like a living unit. I'm speculating.
He calls on it. He uses it. It powers him.
Well, but what I'm saying is that if he's hearing that, if he's hearing the word free us, it's probably from it trying to get back to its. It's like a host mentality, right?
Those people in that stadium were held captive by that vampire. Or somebody. I think it was a vampire. He kept them there.
I don't know.
And he kept Kingfisher was directly responsible for them all dying and being in that situation. That's why they were just like, fuck that dude.
Fuck that guy. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. This is like where in a lot of these books, and we're talking about this the other night, in a lot of these books where we have to fabricate speculation about plot that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not in Quicksilver.
No.
Quicksilver was like, why was that going on? She told you what was going on. Why was that happening? And it might be just a matter of us. We didn't read. We don't remember. We read it and we don't remember.
Right.
But I would much rather be presented with situations where something happens and I don't know why, than nothing happening and you had to pull something out of your butt.
Yeah, it's a hole that you then feel the need to fill.
But it was super cool. The labyrinth was a little hokey. I mean, do you want to keep talking about this book at a later date, or do you want to just wrap it up and then go on to the next book?
She said maybe people were chanting the same thing. The Quicksilver were chanting to taunt him. Maybe.
I think that's what it was. I think it was just part of like his tortured existence.
Maybe.
And the Quicksilver does not. It wants to be what it wants to be. The Quicksilver has its own like bizarre sentience.
Yeah.
Even being the magical substance that it is.
It's got a mind of its own.
Yeah, it's got its own sentience, its own like collective sentience, which is really cool too. It's a really cool concept for that Quicksilver. It was a really cool concept that not only was the Quicksilver sentient.
She says it was interesting that different portions of the Quicksilver had different goals in mind or different incentives.
Yeah, they had different experiences. They also had different. Different Quicksilver had different areas of influence.
Mm-hmm.
A Quicksilver that is bound to Kingfisher is going to have different motivation than the Quicksilver that is part of a sword that Lareth wields. They just have different realms of influence, so they're going to want different things.
Right.
But what they don't want is not. What seemed to be the ongoing theme with the Quicksilver is the Quicksilver wanted action.
It definitely didn't want to be dormant.
It wanted to be part of the party. It did not care what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like it was seeking after things that would give it more of a persona, like because Quicksilver, it was an inanimate object.
Right.
And Quicksilver almost seemed like the Quicksilver wanted anything that was going to entertain it or make it feel more human or more like a being, an intelligent being.
It was definitely very vain, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't we all?
It was fucking Quicksilver. It knew what it was. Very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been just like an extension of that God's own personality, its creator.
That's an interesting take. Yeah, I could see that.
It may have been just literally an extension of his consciousness, which it was. It was an extension of his consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have been what it was. It was just the Quicksilver acted like he acted and it did report directly to him. Did it not?
I don't remember. It sounds
Okay.
right. I mean, sorry. I don't mean to keep yawning. It's been a long day. Boys got up early.
But that's what I'm saying. In this book, you can speculate about things like that. It's good storytelling. It's like every part of this book, every part of this world had aspects that you just don't see. It was good fantasy writing.
Which is one of the reasons why it got so popular.
There were a lot of like metaphysical aspects of it that allowed a lot of speculation. Like she had interactions with gods, and up until she had interactions with gods, there wasn't any foundation that gods existed at all.
Right.
Like she basically
well, no, that's not. I mean, that's not true because they had gods in the castle she was staying in when she first got there. They told her about those gods,
But that'd be the same thing as going to church.
I mean, it would be, but you can't. It's
Met
all about
gods in
faith.
she met gods in person.
I know. That was kind of the validation of the gods.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
they were still the idea that at least there were once gods. The Rachel says the moral of the story is that there's no way that Dad knew that he liked her or loved her when he pulled her through the portal, because you didn't even know anything about him and you actually only saw him for like maybe 2 seconds.
Horse. Horse shit.
That's funny.
Even when he said to her, the only reason why I pulled you through is because I wanted you the only reason why I
The
pulled
Quicksilver.
because I wanted you to be able to alchemize the Quicksilver.
Oh,
I wasn't buying it.
really?
And he was lying. He was lying when he said that. Wasn't buying it. He's like, this is my woman. Grabbed her up. Saved her.
I think you're still so full of shit. You definitely fucking didn't know.
I didn't know.
No, you didn't know.
How do you? Why would I lie about something like that?
Well, I think that you're just
Why would I
full of
die
it.
on that
I think
hill?
that you're misremembering your own
No,
first
no,
read
no,
of
no,
this.
no.
Yes, I
Why
do.
would I die on the hill? How often have I been like, oh, you're right, I'm wrong. Why would I die on the hill? Why do I care? It's a book. Why would I give a crap?
She says, I think since I listened to the audiobook, it felt more like he was a bad guy, because I feel like when you read it, maybe you interpret it differently.
Exactly.
It was like a different tone. Maybe, but
Exactly.
I don't
and you know
know.
what? Kudos to the guy that read it, because that's the vibe that he was trying to give off.
Well,
And that's what that was what the author was trying to give off. She was trying to hide the fact that he had a thing for that girl, and he did. Good job. But having read it on page, and I'm not saying that listening to the audiobook is any worse or any better.
oops.
I'm just saying, having read it on the page, I got the vibe. It was the same vibe that you got from Cycle Shifters when you realized that chick was a guy, or a guy was a chick. You knew.
Mhm.
It's the same kind of vibe. I didn't pick up on that other one at all,
Okay. All right.
but I
all
picked up
right.
on this.
It's all about the vibes.
Yeah, I just got that vibe.
She says, yeah, the audiobook voices were actually so good.
But yeah, really good book, really good fantasy, really good world building, really good character building, really good plot.
Yep.
It got a little funky at the end. I think it's just because she didn't want to write a 1,000-page book.
Not everyone can.
Still fun to read. The
Yeah.
whole labyrinth thing was still fun to read. Was it a little hokey? Was it a little unbelievable?
A little, yeah.
A little, yeah, it was.
Ending felt a little abrupt, but we'd already
Felt a little rushed.
the cliffhanger at the end
Mm-hmm.
shocked me. You were like, you like turned the page. You're like, wait a second. Why does it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you? Yes, we have read, or I've read Touch of Darkness. She's switching gears. Give me a second, Rachel. We'll touch on that here in a minute.
We'll touch on Touch of Darkness.
Touch of Darkness.
Double Touch Darkness. Double tap.
But it ended so abruptly in Quicksilver that I like turned the page and expected another chapter.
Yeah.
And there wasn't. You were just done, and then you had to wait for
Yeah.
Brimstone to come out, and it came out a couple months ago.
And you know what? That whole portion that related to the end of that book didn't disappoint. It did not. Yeah, she had, by the time that I don't know if she had it written by the time that she finished Quicksilver, but by the time that she wrote Brimstone, she delved into the hierarchy of the vampire realm so well that she did a lot of explaining. It wasn't perfect. No, it wasn't. It wasn't perfect at all. But she did a really good job.
Right.
I don't think that I could have done any better.
That's saying something.
Of explaining. I mean, I could talk about vampires all day long. I'm pretty gay for vampires. But she did a really good job explaining how that society works.
Yeah.
because they are inherently evil.
Yes.
Inherently evil.
Yes.
And
In this book series.
so she did a really good job of explaining like how her character is and how she should interact with the vampires that she was then the ruler of.
Mm-hmm.
And she made it a big deal. It would have been the cool thing about that is she could have just she kind of did. She kind of put her being the vampire queen on the back burner a few times when she shouldn't have. She probably should have.
Are you talking about Brimstone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, stop.
I'm not talking about like things that happened. I'm just talking about the general vibe.
Well,
that I got
but
from
the
it.
thing is, it's like you go from
Everybody knows she was the vampire queen by the end of this book.
But that's what I'm saying is that, but it was a big deal. It never was on the back burner because where I'm at in Brimstone, it's still not on the back burner. But back burner, it's like a very
That's
big
what
deal.
I'm saying. She addressed that situation. She gave it most of the attention that it deserved. The fact that she was like Lord of the Vampires.
Yeah. Rachel says, I thought it was very interesting that it wasn't just like vampires, it was the blood curse.
And that comes up. It comes up.
Does it?
It was just like she made a big deal out of that. She made it like a conscious decision amongst these fae that become vampires, or these humans that become vampires, or anybody who becomes a vampire. It's a conscious decision for them to join the society.
She says at the end of Quicksilver, it literally just says they need a queen and they're waiting for you, and that's it. So stop talking about it.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that it goes on.
Yeah.
It's not an unsatisfying segue into the next book. It's not.
Right.
She talks about
Continues
it a
on.
lot. She continues a lot. It comes up a lot. It's an issue a lot. There's new characters that you meet because of the fact that she's part of that group.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, yeah, that would just be. It'd be silly if it wasn't.
Those new characters have relationships with characters that existed before.
You shut your mouth.
I'm just
Shut your
saying
mouth.
that she did a really good job intertwining all these characters together. It's not like she didn't leave the characters that she'd already presented in the first book at the wayside so that she could present new characters.
Right.
Did a really good job
She
doing that.
intermingles everybody really well.
Yeah, it's like by the time I got done reading Brimstone, I was like, that wasn't great. But in reality, given the task that she did it to herself. Given the task that she was presented in integrating these new concepts into another book, she did a good job.
Mm-hmm. She says it's really cool how they use the god for the transition.
When that first happened, it seemed a little OP.
I had to reread it. I read it and then had to backtrack. And reread it.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't quite understand what I was reading.
Yeah, exactly. It became very ethereal. It became very metaphysical. It
Yeah.
became your rules became obscured.
But
The rules
then again, if you're meeting a god, wouldn't it?
Exactly. It was kind of like stepping behind the curtain and seeing who's controlling this, who's pulling the strings on this play that you're watching.
Right.
And yeah, it was really cool. She introduced a lot of god characters.
Mm-hmm.
She explained that the Quicksilver was sometimes these girls, this guy's daughters, just straight up talking to the people through the Quicksilver.
She said,
And that's what the Quicksilver was, right?
I think so.
The Quicksilver was just these girls
Fucking around.
talking to people through the Quicksilver.
She said, yeah, but it made sense though because you already knew that the Fates had a hand in their love and in their lives.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and you know what? That really just like you felt like she had kind of gotten a raw deal at that point.
They both did. More Kingfisher than her, but yeah.
Yeah, they both did. Kingfisher got robbed, man.
Yeah, I did. But that was kind of the name of the game. from the get-go.
Yeah, but and it was
It almost feels like if
it was a strategy to the god.
yeah.
But Kingfisher, man, he got railed out in that situation, and you know what? So did she.
It was so cool that they had the daughters just be like Kingfisher giddy fangirls, and that's why he was the chosen. He was their chosen, so she
He was
said.
a bad motherfucker. He
I'm
was.
the chosen. Or whatever the fuck Madison says.
He was an admirable guy.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude. He had like all the aspects of a leader that people aspire to be. And she did a really good job painting his picture.
This is why everyone should know that shirt you have on Etsy that says, "I just want to drink wine, read books, and marry Kingfisher."
Yeah.
That's a you shirt. You are a Kingfisher fan.
I am a Kingfisher fan. Because you know what? Not only does he represent aspects of myself that I'm proud of, he also represents aspects of that I aspire to be. Things, my shortcomings that it's like I feel like a lot of times I've fallen short. Kingfisher does not.
Not yet.
Not yet in this next book either.
We'll find out. I mean, there's a whole nother book after this one, or after Brimstone. There's a whole third book. It's already been.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen like a lot of these books happen, where and it's almost invariable, where you'll you come in hot, you get the concentrated version of what's going on, and you get the concentrated version of these emotions of these characters, and you get the concentrated version of the plot and the world, and it just slowly starts to dilute as the series moves forward. And I feel like that's because the authors take a lot for granted.
Well, what can happen is that the authors feel like they might not get a chance to write another book, right? You strike one deal, but then you never know.
What might be happening is they're like, okay, well, you got to come up with a book a year from moving forward.
Oh, well,
She might have spent 3 years or 4 years or 5 years on that book before she released it.
that's true.
She
But I
doesn't
mean,
she doesn't have the time frame. Unless she had the end of the series in mind when she started the book, she's pulling that out of her ass.
well, let's look. Try not to knock my cord. Because I know that the third book has been released or has been announced.
Yeah, of course it has. Of course it has.
But it has like a release date. So let me look.
So she might have been given a deadline.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you're given a deadline, you have to make some submissions when you do that.
So Quicksilver came out June of 2024.
Wasn't her first book.
No. And I have not read any other.
She was an accomplished writer before she ever started Quicksilver.
Well, and to be honest, I
would consider Quicksilver her opus thus far, though. Don't you?
I am so uninterested in the genres of all of her other books that I have not bothered to pick any up.
Exactly. Quicksilver put her on the map.
Yeah. So let's see.
And you know what? Kudos to her. Good job. Good job. Love that book.
It's still untitled.
All she knows is that they're making her write it.
It is expected to come out November of 2026. So pretty much a year from when Brimstone came out.
And she had all the time in the world to write Brimstone. Or to write Quicksilver. She did not have as much time to write Brimstone.
Well, we don't know that. We don't.
And you know what I'm hoping? I'm hoping that when she decided to write Brimstone, which she knew she was going to, that she had an idea for her third book when she started working on Brimstone. Because if that was the case, that's going to make the third book a lot better. She didn't. She left Brimstone open-ended.
Did she?
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't come to a conclusion per se.
Rachel says we've not discussed the smut. She thinks it was tasteful and well timed.
absolutely.
This is something I want to touch on anyway. So, in one of the lives that I just recently edited today, we had kind of discussed.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We had kind of discussed in that video how There Are No Saints. I didn't view it as a romance novel, and you were like, nobody but romance readers would read this.
Yeah.
But I feel as though a book can be a romance novel and it can be a smut novel, but they do not have to be the same thing. That just because it's a romance novel does not mean that it's a smut novel. And just because it's a it has smut, or is labeled a smut novel, does not mean that it's romance. In my opinion. And I might be cutting hairs, splitting hairs in that kind of aspect.
You have a point.
But
you have a point. Yeah.
In my opinion, There Are No Saints is not a romance novel. It is a smut novel. That is why it has the audience it does. And books like Quicksilver, because it has such a plot.
You may have changed my mind.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Fucking write that down in the history books.
I was for the sake of brevity, I was just dumping it all into the same category.
Right, but
you can have romance without smut. You can.
And this book, Quicksilver itself, does it have sex scenes in it? Yes. Is this a smut novel? No. I don't think so. I think it's got well-timed, well-played sex scenes, but it is not a smut-ish, but it's not a smut novel.
Did they ever end up doing it in this book?
Yeah, like a few times. Remember, because of the tattoos.
Oh, yeah. She makes up for lost time in Brimstone.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah,
I did see reviews about
Brimstone is a smut novel. It is. Yeah, it concentrates heavily on that.
So, and that's...
I almost would like to see it kind of like dip back out of that and go back into like the Quicksilver type stuff later on in the next book.
And that was something that I think we had originally talked about when we first tried to talk about Quicksilver, is that they had other shit going on. They couldn't just bang all the time.
And they always will. They always will in these books.
So, and that's that,
because their world's at war.
Right, and that's the difference. I think for when you read Quicksilver, that you can't go into it thinking that it's a smut novel, because it isn't a smut novel.
No, it's not.
It is a romance novel.
And more.
Well, and that's the kind of like romantasy that you can play into, where it is absolutely a romantasy book, but it's got adult themes, because it does have.
But I tell you what,
not super graphic, but graphic sex scenes.
People are going to be reading Quicksilver in 20 years.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just like people are reading Lord of the Rings or whatever, or
It's not Lord of the Rings.
What am I? I'm thinking of
But you know what?
What's that? No, what's that one where everyone dies?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's not no Game of Thrones either.
It is the woman's version. It is on this. It is.
But you know what? I liked it better.
The Game of Thrones.
I liked it better than Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones became tedious.
Yeah.
It became. It was a fucking drag. You don't want to watch every freaking character die over and over again. The only reason why he did that crap was to build a character up so that he could kill them, and that becomes a drag. Quicksilver wasn't a drag.
No.
It was a fun book to read. You got to root for your characters. Might she kill one off later on? Yes. Will it be tragic when it happens? Yes.
Are you telling me I'm going to cry from this book?
No. No, I'm not saying that at all. No. That does not happen in that book. Spoiler alert. Nobody you love dies in that book. No.
Okay.
Will they in the next one? Maybe.
Maybe.
But when they do, you will cry. Because you loved that character. Because
you're so attached to the characters. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that Game of Thrones did not do, and that's something that I read the Walking Dead comic books, And Walking Dead just killed people off left and right. And what Game of Thrones did a little bit better than Walking Dead is they made you love the character before he killed them. Stephen King does that too.
Yeah.
In fact, I think every one of these books took a note from Stephen King. He makes sure that you understand who the character is. He makes you love them. He makes you attached to them, and then he kills them mercilessly.
Rachel says, I'm still shocked about when Carrion got stabbed and then he started laughing. That was crazy. Well,
I don't even remember that.
I don't either.
Oh, yeah, at the end.
Like in the maze?
Yeah,
Or the last
something along that line. No, it was... Yeah, because that guy could not kill him. He couldn't kill him. He was a noble bloodline.
Oh, right.
He could not kill him.
And that's kind of when you find out everything about Carrion.
Yeah, and that was something that she went all the way.
She just said, oh no, he didn't get stabbed. He bit him and drank his blood.
Yeah, yeah, he could not kill him.
Well,
No, in fact, it killed him, didn't it?
I don't remember.
It affected him negatively, or however it went down. But yeah, it was super cool concept. Really loved it. Loved all of that. Loved the fact that she brought Carrion in and made him a main character. He kind of had main character energy from the beginning.
His blood was toxic to him because it was the blood of the original bloodline that cured the curse.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Loved it. Loved Carrion. Loved his character. Loved the fact that he ended up being a prince. His character, there's spoilers. I'm not going to talk about it.
No, you don't. I'm still over here.
Fucking read Brimstone.
Still over here, like, why choose? Why choose? Why choose? When I know it's not going to be that. I know it's just not going to be that way.
That's probably something else that's going to make you not like Kingfisher even more.
You told me. You did give me a brief insight on that one.
Because Kingfisher ain't fucking having it. He's not sharing his woman.
Well,
He is not.
Rachel says I don't like.
I mean, at some point, chicks don't count. That might happen. Who knows?
She-
I doubt it very seriously.
Yeah. Rachel says she doesn't like white shoes. Well, that makes more
Doesn't
sense.
like what?
White shoes novels.
Oh yeah, yeah. She is a chooser.
She is a chooser.
Yeah,
She's a one and done.
Yeah.
So-
She's got her dude.
To quickly talk on Rachel's question she had, I have read Touch of Darkness. If I remember correctly, I can pull up. I have Goodreads open. I think it's in the.
What was the question she had?
She asked if we had ever read Touch of Darkness.
Oh, I don't even know what it is.
Right. I read it a long time ago. I think, if I remember correctly, it is. Or at least I thought it was. Maybe it's Neon Gods I'm thinking about. It was. I thought it was in the hat, but it's not on this list.
I've heard it before.
I'm sure
maybe,
you have.
Maybe she put it in the hat.
Rachel wouldn't have put it in that. It would have been somebody. If anyone put it in the hat, it would have been Marissa. There's Neon Gods. No, it's not in the hat. But I read it. Let's see.
What's it about?
It is a Hades and Persephone.
Oh, okay.
It is the last Hades and Persephone. Why can't I say that name all of a sudden? Book that I've read.
Maybe it was that giant skull of vodka you just drank.
I don't feel drunk at all.
I know. That's disturbing, honestly. I filled that thing up to the nose before I even started putting juice in it.
Well, we all saw how New Year's Eve went. God, that was awful. Never again.
That's apples and oranges, dear.
The thought, I have to just look it up.
New Year's Eve got you.
Yeah, it did. I still keep the thought of taking a shot still makes me queasy. Okay. Let's see. I read this. It won't fucking tell me. Whatever. It doesn't matter. She got books 1 through 3 for her birthday.
Oh, okay. Is that why she brought it up?
Yes.
Has she read it?
No. But she just got them. So,
only saw one thing in her basket.
No, she got the first 3 of the series in physical book form.
Okay.
I can read the synopsis of this.
Go ahead.
Persephone, I'm saying that correct, right?
Yeah.
My brain is telling me it's wrong. Is the goddess of spring by title only. The truth is, since she was a little girl, flowers have shriveled at her touch. After moving to New Athens, she hopes to lead an unassuming life disguised as a mortal journalist. Hades, god of the dead, has built a gambling empire in the mortal world, and his favorite bets are rumored to be impossible. After a chance encounter with Hades, Persephone finds herself in a contract with the god of the dead, and terms are impossible. Persephone must create life in the underworld or lose her freedom forever. The bet does more than expose Persephone's failure as a goddess, however. As she struggles to sow the seeds of her freedom, love for the god of the dead grows, and it's forbidden.
Sounds campy. Do you want us to read it just to kind of like decide whether or not we're going to talk about it?
She says, but they get freaky, right?
maybe if we can read it, and then when the storm's over, she can come over and be like a guest.
Well, that means she also has to read it.
Well, she's got the books.
Yeah. So A Touch of Darkness is 438 pages in the ebook format.
Chunky boy.
I finished it when I worked at Amazon, and I think I listened to it in an evening because I worked 10 hours, and it was like a 10 or 11 hour audiobook.
I'm gonna read it. So it might take me a couple days.
They get freaky. I don't remember if I'm pretty sure they get freaky. Somebody gets freaky.
Smut book.
Yeah, it's a smut book. It's got a 3.8.
Wow.
And it's also got
Is that a 4
out of 5. It's almost got 4 stars, but it's got 400,000 ratings.
That just means it's got good smut.
I mean, honestly, it was a good book.
Do you remember much about it?
I remember the key points. She goes, that means I can listen in 5 hours. I can tell you how long the audiobook is. I can pull up Audible. If I can spell. I might own the audiobook. I don't think, actually, I think I get 2 titles for 1 credit. Shut up.
Shooty. It's good value.
I think I rented it from the library.
Libby.
Yeah, on Libby. It is 11 hours and 6 minutes.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
I read.
It looks like it's got 4 books in the series.
I didn't read it, but I listened to. What was it called?
I don't know.
Dart.
Right.
Listen to Kashil's Dart audiobook. And I want to say that thing was like 16 hours or 20 hours. That's a thick.
I don't remember how to spell that.
Kashil's Dart. I don't remember either. I think it's like KEISHEL. That's like one of the first smut books I've ever listened to.
I tried listening to it.
And I think it was like, there's a lot of, it's heavy in the French. Heavy influence. And it makes it hard. Not only that, but it's also got so many characters in it.
It's
And that thing. You know
it
what?
uses very big language.
Yeah, the concept of that is like really cool. She's like she lives in a where it's like France, but it's not France.
Mm-hmm.
Alternate France. And these they're basically prostitutes, but
Right.
they're not like they're and I think that when that book was written, which I think was like in the 80s or 90s,
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot more taboo than it would be now because prostitutes weren't really they were kind of looked down on during that time in real life, whereas now they're not super. I mean, sex work's real work, right? But in that world, they weren't. They were just like part of the world, and they were more like indentured servants. And the more uh, money they made, the more they could. They were just like trying to buy themselves out of servitude.
Mm.
And it was interesting.
Says when you back up from the mic, she can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. To get up on it.
Get up on
Get
it.
up on it.
Make out with
talking
it.
to Turn my volume up so it makes everything echo. But I feel like it was it was a lot more risque for the time than it would be now. Now it'd be kind of boring because you've got all these smut books that really get into like some weird, obscure, smutty smut.
Smarty smart.
Whereas back then, the idea of BDSM, and that's what it was BDSM.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of BDSM was still,
Pretty taboo.
yeah, pretty
You didn't talk
taboo.
about it.
Now it's a lot more mainstream than it used to be. At least to me, anyway, because I wasn't even exposed to that kind of world back then. But it was highbrow stuff. It was
Right.
highbrow. Kind of like this other thing here, this Fiery Cross.
Mm-hmm.
It's highbrow like that. A lot of. I think that a lot of times when you read a book like that, you get lost in the language.
Yeah.
Which you did. You got lost in the language.
For me, it was hard because a lot of the names sounded the same. I was listening to it on audiobook.
And they all ended with like
So if I would have been
they're
able,
all French.
Yeah, if I would have been able to like look at it while I was reading it,
Yeah.
I would have probably been able to get a lot further than I was.
Good book. Good series. You got them all.
Yeah, we do.
Bought them all for you because I thought that you'd be into it, but then I realized that it's just like it's kind of a hard read, man.
It is a hard read.
Yeah, and all those books are this thick.
I'm not as smart as you think I am.
No,
It
it's
was
a
a
tough
hard
read.
read.
It was hard for me to keep up with. But I mean, it was good. It was good world building. Very interesting, but you just
Right.
tough read.
Right.
Oh, sometimes you're willing to delve into stuff like that, but most of the time, especially nowadays, where you don't have much time to listen to an audio book, much less sit down and read a 1,000-page book. It's just, it almost seems like work.
Right. Well, and if this was my full-time job, then I would be able to commit to it. But this isn't my full-time job.
And even then, you'd be struggling through it.
Yeah.
Especially when you get situations where you've got like psycho shifters. Where is it fun to read? Yeah. Is it a tough read? No. So
It's just enjoyable. It's one of those like palate cleanser reads though, where it's quick, it's easy, it's exactly if you're looking for something in particular and you see that book, you're like, okay, you read it, and then you're like, now what's next?
yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, but at the same time, with things like Quicksilver and this book and Kashil's Dart, you're not gonna read Kashil's Dart and wash your hands of it.
right,
It sticks with you.
right.
Changes the way you look at things.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, it does.
Quicksilver to make me change the way I look at things.
No, but Kashil's Dart would. Or you be in complete agreement with it, and it's
Maybe.
like, yeah, totally, that's amazing. I wish things were actually like that. But I'm just saying that it had something to say on a societal level, which rates alongside any other book of that caliber.
Right.
But in doing that, it's a hard read. It's a tough read.
It's a tough read. Couldn't make it through Game of Thrones either.
Yeah. I would even. I would. To me, Game of Thrones falls into the tough read, or falls into the easy read category. Or it's just like,
Really?
yeah.
Maybe-
He didn't use any language that was. He used a lot of freaking. The one thing that was distracting about that is everybody had 3 nicknames.
Maybe that's what it was.
He bit on Tolkien pretty hard on that because everybody in Tolkien's books had 4 or 5 names that everybody called them. But yeah, in that portion, it's like, who the fuck are we talking about
Yeah.
now?
Where am I again? Who is this? I think that
Who's
was
this
my
guy?
problem with
It's
it.
the same guy. It's the same guy. Somebody just calling him a different name.
But wow. But you know.
Yeah.
So we are snowed in. We have time to read. We need to decide what the
Ish.
next book will be.
I'd like to
ish.
start, getting some of these bookmarks onto the Etsy store so that we can actually. I mean, all this stuff is fun to make, but the idea is to try to make some money off of
Make
it if I
some
can.
money.
Yeah, because I'm like out of materials, out of money, out of everything.
Snowed in. Can't get
Yeah.
any more if we wanted to.
So I need to start making some money off of that, and I feel like these items these bookmarks that we've come up with, that they're good.
Yeah,
People would want them
It's
if they could see them and buy them.
well, we'll work on that tomorrow.
Okay.
Getting the videos posted, getting all that put up. We need to, I think, officially choose what event we're doing.
Okay. Well, that's shop talk. We don't need to go on this.
No, we don't. But yeah, so we'll figure out what our next book is that we'll be doing for Spilling My Usual Tea.
Maybe we can delve into this. What is this called?
Touch of Darkness.
Touch of Darkness. A couple 100 pages, and decide if it's worth talking about.
That would be that'd be a you decision because
What?
it wasn't a bad book. I enjoyed.
Oh, you've already read it.
I've already read it. Yeah, so you would need to. I mean, if you read,
You kind of already told me.
yeah,
It wasn't a bad book per se. Well, then never mind.
it wasn't. So there are 4 books in the series, or 3 books. Rachel has 3 books. I have never read the second one. But part of that is because I don't particularly give a shit about.
We got little feet.
That's big
Whose little
feet.
feet is it?
Yeah, I got large feet.
You have little feet.
I don't particularly give a shit about the Hades Persephone retelling
You just
over
don't
and
like
over
it.
and over again. I like it enough, but I feel like
I've never read
especially
one book. I've
no,
never read one book
especially
like that.
when Touch of Darkness came out originally,
Yeah.
it was everyone beating a dead horse at that point, and I was tired of seeing all the new books that come out were Hades and Persephone retelling. So I
Well,
had,
it'd be new to me.
huh?
It
Well,
would
I
be-
mean, it'd be new now because everyone's kind of ventured away from it.
No, it'd be new to me because I've never read a story like that.
Oh well,
Never have.
it
I may read it and love it.
one of the books I can pull it up. One of the books that is in the hat right now is called
Is it another one of those?
Neon Gods,
Yeah.
and let's see.
What are you doing?
I better not have to take my nose ring out again because every time I put in those plastic ones, it closes a little because they're smaller.
Yeah. Love you.
Let's see. Now, I have not read Neon Gods because I decided to read Touch of Darkness instead of Neon Gods.
What? I probably do. I hope I do.
It's just the lighting. It's the camera.
I'm peckish. We need to wrap this up so I can eat something.
So, Society Darling, Persephone, and then it says Demetrial. I can't even say it.
Are we going down a rabbit hole here?
Plans to flee the ultra-modern city of Olympus and start over, far from the backstabbing politics of the 13 houses. But all that's ripped away from her when her mother ambushes her with an engagement to Zeus, the dangerous power behind her glittering city's dark facade. So this book, Neon Gods by Katie Robert, is in the hat. Again, it's a modern retelling of Hades and Persephone.
I feel like we would be like cutting our own throat there by reading that book for this. If it ends up, we have to discuss it for Steam.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Is that was one of the reasons why I didn't bother to even move on with Touch of Darkness series, is because at that time, which was 2014 or 2016 when I finally read it, I can't remember which baby, but after which baby I had finally decided to work when I worked at Amazon.
Then if you read it again now, you'd probably hate it.
I might.
Probably just not even like it because you've read so much since then that it's not even interesting at all. If you don't remember liking it, you probably hate it now.
I remember.
It'd be like me going through and watching all the He-Man episodes.
I remember enjoying it while I was reading it, and there is kind of like a twist at the end I wasn't expecting. But at the time, I didn't like it enough to then move on to the second book. But I can't remember if that was because either the second book wasn't out, or it wasn't available on Libby, which is what I was using at the time, or if I just didn't give a shit. And
sounds like you didn't give a shit.
That's what I'm thinking, is that I just didn't give a shit, because even after,
because you still don't give a shit.
Yeah, even after all these years, I still don't care enough about Hades and Persephone to go fucking read it.
You know what another book was that you just like dismissed? Another series that you just like dismissed, and I'm not sure you're ever going to go back to it, even though you own the book. Onyx Storm. It was a good book.
Onyx Storm was?
It was
you
a good book.
You talked mad shit about Onyx Storm, which is why
at the very beginning of it, it was very confusing.
Okay.
It was very confusing. She threw a bunch of names in there. She threw a bunch of stuff going on in there that I didn't recognize, didn't remember. And it was very confusing. But once you got past that part at the very beginning of the book, I liked it better than the one before it.
Well, it's on my TBR.
What was the one before it? Iron Flame. I liked it better than Iron Flame. It was a better book.
Okay. I mean,
and everybody, it wasn't just me. Everybody talked mad shit about Onyx Storm.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is everyone had that same problem with the beginning.
It was a better book.
I don't know if I've heard that it's a better book for Onyx Storm, but I mean, it's regardless. I plan on going back to it. I do plan on going back to Onyx Storm. It is something I would like to read. I do own it twice over. Thank you, my son. But it's just not high on my priority list.
Well, you know what's going to happen. She's going to come up with another book, and then you'll be 2 books behind.
That's true. I mean, I think the next one.
And it's gonna come to the point where you're gonna end up just forsaking that entire series. Is that something you want to do?
No.
Is Fourth Wing not your jam anymore?
I mean, it is my jam, I guess. I
couldn't bring myself to read the second book in Thorns and Roses.
So apparently Fourth Wing, what is this? The Empyrean series is what it is, has been reported to be a 5-book series.
So this next book, is that wrapping it up? That's number 3, right?
Yeah, so there's 2 more books coming out for that series.
I just don't want it to be a situation where it's like an old hat by the time we get to it and do a review of it.
They don't even have she hasn't even started writing book 4 yet.
Okay, well that just means that
I've got time.
It may go over like a brick.
Well, because she's currently working on something else, I think.
I feel like she may feel at this point it's like she needs to redeem herself in the next book.
She might. Well,
I don't feel like she does. I thought Onyx Storm was a decent book, but you know what? It did get kind of D&D campaignish towards the end, which a lot of people would be repulsed by, or it just kind of kept me going. I just kind of want to see what happens.
She does have 3 books, so I've got Onyx Storm on my TBR, I've got The Last Letter on my TBR, and then I've also have The Things We Leave Unfinished on my TBR. So
That sounds interesting.
I've got 3 books on that she's written.
What's that one about?
Which one?
The things we leave unfinished.
Click into it.
This might not be like live talk. It might be something we just talk amongst each other about.
Well, I mean,
'Cause we are kind of dragging out a little bit long.
I can always cut it out.
Though anybody was watching.
I mean, yeah, I can tell you if anyone's watching. At least on.
I don't even know if Rachel's still watching.
It says I got 2 people on Twitch.
Hey, cool.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
2 people on Twitch. It's probably her and Lauren.
Probably. Anyway, told in alternate timelines, the things we leave unfinished examines the risk we take for love, the scars too deep to heal, and the endings we can't bring ourselves to see coming.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's
Is it it's not a fantasy, right?
no, it is. I mean, I can read you the synopsis.
How many pages is it?
400. Came out in 2021.
Sounds good.
I mean, it's on my TBR. And then
Is it in the hat?
No, none of these books are in the hat. The Last Letter. The Last Letter came out in 2019, and it is 426 pages. Jesus.
I'd like to read something that's a little bit messier.
This one I've heard is a little sad. The Last Letter.
I don't want something to bum me out completely.
Rachel says, "I'm falling asleep, but I'm gonna go. But I love you.
Yeah,
Love
that's
you,
what I
Rachel.
figured.
Yeah, it's 11.
Same we're dragging on.
But the Last Letter, it says, Beckett, if you're reading this, then you know the Last Letter drill. You made it. I didn't get off the guilt train because I know if there was any chance you could have saved me, you would have. I need one more thing from you. Get out of the army. Go to Telleride. My little sister Ella is raising the twins alone. She's too independent and would accept help easily. But she has lost our grandmother, our parents, and now me. It is too much for anyone to endure. It is not fair. And here's the kicker. There's something else you don't know that's tearing her family apart. She's going to need help. So if I'm gone, that means I can't be there for Ella. I can't help them through this, but you can. So I'm begging you, as my best friend, go take care of my sister, my family. Please don't make her go through this alone, Ryan. That is the synopsis of the book. You were like, no.
It sounds bad.
It's got a 4.5 out of 5.
It sounds bad.
With 465,000 ratings. I've heard it's amazing.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
I mean,
I'm willing to even go with something that's kind of notebook-esque.
I think that's kind of what this might be.
That's the way it feels. A little
or the last, or not the last letter, but the things we leave unfinished. It might be a little notebook-esque.
They both seem a little notebook-esque.
Definitely not fantasy novels.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like we can't make every book I read fantasy. Because I totally would.
I know you would.
Yeah.
So let's get off of here, and then we can make a final decision on what our next book's going to be. And I mean, if we get snowed in, I'll have time to read.
Yeah.
But I do still, if they cancel,
making some mugs.
If they cancel school, I still have to work. I've got mandatory training on Monday.
Nice.
Yep, that's kind of how I feel. So, all right, we will pop off of here, and if you aren't following us on Instagram, please do, because that's where I'm going to post any kind of updates on what our next book's going to be, because at this point, it's a mystery book.
Yeah.
Mystery.
It's a mystery.
So